Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
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 This is a story from Papa's book. There was a woman saint who lived with her guru serving him. Both were votaries of the divine name. She used to prepare cow dung cakes, which are used as fuel in India on those days. She would put them up in the sun for drying. One day a neighboring woman had also prepared similar cakes and spread them out nearby. When the cakes were dry, the woman saint and her neighbor went to collect them. The cakes had got all mixed up somehow. The neighbor wanted to take, besides her own cake, the cakes of the saint also. Hearing of it, the master, whom the woman saint was serving, said he could easily find out the cakes prepared by his disciples. He took each cake, placed it near his ear. In some of them he heard the sound of God's name. Those in which God's name was being sung were sorted out from the others. They belonged to his disciples. Thus the dispute was settled. As the woman saint was always repeating God's name, even while preparing the cow dung cake, the cake absorbed the divine vibration, and her master could hear God's name in them. So the moral of the story is, in whatever activities we are plunged in, or in other words, in whatever activities he makes us to involve, we should try to do with his remembrance. And the easy way to remember him is to chant his name. To chant his name with remembrance, Papa now assures that even a cow dung cake, which is inanimate, which is an object, which is, according to us there is no life, but there also the vibration was felt. समझ गया ना? समझ गया?
Swamiji, they all understand only Gujarati. We are in very village.
Anyway, you translate this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now back to God experience. Yesterday we stopped at this place. We will again read that. People asked Ramdas in America, why is there so much of strife, misery and dissension in the world? Ramdas's only reply was, people have forgotten God. If they really remember God, the state of things would never exist. They were busy making atom bombs. While they are speaking of disarmament, they are piling up armament. God is forgotten. That is why there is so much trouble and unrest. If even one man in a family raises himself to the higher level of consciousness, he will spread out him a peaceful atmosphere, and those who come within the aura of his influence will change. If all strive and attain that blessed state, then they will spread everywhere nothing but peace and goodwill. For they will shed their selfishness, their sense of separation from their fellow beings. They will achieve unity based upon the knowledge of the all-pervading truth, God. They will have then heaven upon earth. So the devotee asks, then God's Leela will end. Papa, no. It will be a Leela of happiness, Leela of love, goodwill, harmony. When two or more people belonging to different countries meet and talk in love and friendship with each other, what a happy sight it is to watch them. When they quarrel, what an unhappy sight. Here in the ashram, many people come from different places. Though they are strangers, they move with each other on equal terms with all love and affection. Is it not a heavenly sight? There is no selfish love there. It is not based upon physical relationship. It is on the plane of the spirit. There is no bargaining. Love is given away spontaneously, producing nothing but ecstasy in the heart of everyone. Here when they come, they forget their nationality, all prejudices are dissolved. There is no question of class or creed. All sit together and eat. All join together to hear God's name sung. They forget their homes and normal activities. In that happy forgetfulness, they move about in perfect bliss and peace. Devotee, that is why we therefore feel unwilling to go from here. Papa, you have to go. You are drawn by business and other things at home. Take this atmosphere with you. Learn to lose yourself in the service of others. When Ramdas went to America, Europe, Japan, Ceylon and other countries, he felt he was moving with people known to him for ages and ages. He did not feel he had gone to strange places or was moving with strange people. He was seeing God in them. He was moving freely with everybody. His beloved is seated in the hearts of all beings. The world is his home. All these countries are but different rooms in that home. He was moving from room to room and meeting his own beloved in different forms. If you develop this universal consciousness and see God everywhere and in everybody, then you are the happiest being on earth. That is the source of Ramdas's happiness. He knows no distinction, no sense of I, mine and thine. But this can be achieved only when we rise higher and higher. No? There should be this Papa's explanation about seeing every country as a roof. No? Nice to hear. Forget about countries. In our own state, do we do that? In our own place, do we do that? Because the I and mine is very much dominant. That's the last line. He knows no distinction, no sense of I, mine and thine. So we pray to him now when we take to chanting of God's name. I don't want anything. Just remove the I and mine. Because we know that is the source of all problems. When I say I, that's small I. We are struggling now only because of the presence of this small I. When we hear, everything is alright. When we do Ramnam, everything is alright. But if the dominance of this I and mine is not reduced, we are not eking out the real benefit of Ramnam, Bhajan, Satsang, Manan. That is why even when sannyas is thought of, Papa used to bluntly say, even when we leave the wedding and go to take sannyas, What happens is beautifully brought out by Papa. Interest of Papa. The small book yesterday it was shown to me. White. Yesterday it was taken. I don't know. It must be there. Yesterday it was brought. Interest of Papa Sri India. White book. It might be there also. So this is something, which will not leave us. We may think that we have left everything, but still it is there. Papa was very much against this adoption of sannyas. In the sense, it should come from one's own. It cannot be given by anybody else. How do I know that I have reached? Or I am trying to qualify myself? I and mine. If that is not there, he says, we may be observing all the austerities prescribed. We may be doing everything. But along with that, unknowingly, the ego is also going up. When we were going through that, we were taken aback. Why is Papa telling like that? Then we realized it could be, we don't know what exactly he meant. It could be because when you come see this growth, this color, even if we do something not right, you will not come and tell us on our face. If we are on white clothes, you will come and tell us. At least somebody will take the liberty to come and tell us what you did was wrong, what you talked was wrong, it was not right, it hurt me, something like that, Then I correct myself. But the moment I wear this, nobody will come and tell me. They may tell out somebody else is behaving like this. So there is no question of getting corrected. So by that, we understand that Papa is gently asking all of us, you always have an open mind to correct yourself. Because mistakes can come. We are all human beings. Even when somebody has stepped into the order of sannyas, he says, mere external renunciation is of no avail. To assume sannyas in the hope that by taking merely that step you would realize God is perfectly wrong. Sannyas is not a thing to be received from or given to anybody. It's a dedication of our entire being to the Lord and His service. Our entire being. So it should come from within, no? It is a spontaneous wave of aspiration rising from within our own heart. So receiving initiation from any external guru can make the disciple only an apparent sannyasi, struggling through tedious and painful courses of sadhana, undertaken because of the established rules and regulations. Up to this, okay. The next one is on. Observed all through with the growing ego sense at the base of it. We have gone there to erase the me and mine. We have taken to this order. That is why society respects them. Even in ashrams or spiritual institutions, normally people say, it should be headed by a sannyasi. Why? Not a grihastha. Why? Because grihastha has got some vested interest, according to them. We don't believe it so. Anybody can become. But what they mean is, they will have some vested interest. Whether it be 1% or 10% or 20%. Whereas for a sannyasi, they expect it is 0%. The me and mine is not there. Me and mine means not only craving for money, position, status, power, all these things will be there lying latent, I and mine. That is why Papa says, observed all through, with the growing ego sense at the base of it. So whether he is a sannyasi or a grihastha, any devotee, any aspirant, any sadhaka, this is clear now. The one and only roadblock is me and mine. Because the small cell will not reconcile to, will not compromise. Even its tiniest needs, that will have its importance. Very difficult, very difficult. So that is why here Papa says, all these countries are different, but different rooms in that home. You are moving from room to room and meeting your own beloved in different forms. If you develop this universal consciousness and see God everywhere and in everybody, then you are the happiest being on earth. That is the source of Ramdasa's happiness. He knows no distinction, no sense of I, mine and that. So today the take-home message, every day is the take-home message. So we should devise some method. We cannot get rid of that fellow so easily. We have been nurturing him right from our childhood. Unknowingly, our parents, our friends, everybody, teachers, they have all nurtured it, unknowingly. Telling that you are good, you are this, you are that, So there is an assumption in our mind, something about ourselves. And we have developed our own taste, temperament, aptitude, inclination, preferences, priorities, likes and dislikes. So we go along with it. We may be attending all these programs, but nothing at the cost of this basic requirement of me and mine. It will only go gradually again. It cannot go straight away. But at least we should know, the purpose of chanting God's name is to erase, to thin out. Let us not think about God realization and everything. Big word. At least it's me and mine,
At least
Whenever we deal with men and matters, we watch ourselves whether the me and mine comes in front of us. Without our knowledge, it will come and stand. That is the problem. And then what did I say? What did I do? What did I think? This is the greatest hurdle. We all feel, we are all broad-minded. We don't have this, that. But the moment somebody touches something, immediately we flare up like anything. As if the heaven has gone down. Prestige issue. He knows no distinction, no sense of I, mine and thine. God is my father. God is my mother. All beings are my brothers and sisters. And the entire universe is my home. This is what our rishis taught us. We all sing beautifully, this. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धू च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव. Even the bank balance we say, no? Even the landed property we say, it is yours. But do we mean? All slogas. Nowadays, when Papa he wrote to Swamiji, Swamiji, when he replied immediately after getting a letter from him, confirming his adoption of sannyasa at Rishikesh, 2-3 things he pointed out. One thing is, learn from a few slogas. Because that will keep, now we are telling, because now we feel guilty, Have we treated everybody as Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva? In Bhajan also we do that, no? Tvameva, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my this thing, and you are everything. What do you mean? And next one is Kayena Vacha Manasendriyaiva Buddhyatmanavad Padule Svabhavad Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Srimat Narayanayeti Samarpayami. Acha, when we are asked to chant this, very nice. A spiritual fervor is there, a devotional fervor is there, 100% we want to. But the moment the program is over, do we dedicate everything to Narayan? What are we telling? Kayena Vaja Manasa Indriyeva. My body, thoughts, words and deeds, mind and organs of action and perception, which they act, according to its svabhava. I dedicate everything to you. Karomi Yajyat Sakalam Parasmai Srimat Narayanaye Samapaya. So, the purpose of chanting is not that I have attained them, but there is a constant reminder to me that this is what I have to attain, this is what I have to attain, this is what I have to attain. Papa is gently reminding us this sloka. These are all practical clues, When we read this, we may just read as a narrative. No. He is asking us now, why don't you learn a few slogas which is comfortable for you to chant? Because 3 lines, 2 lines, 4 lines, you can be easily learned by heart. Whereas any other one, is difficult. But some slogas. From every text, 1 or 2, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Upanishad, whether it is, that will stand out. Shanti Mantra, yeah. It will help us. Nowadays, we are not simply chanting it. So far, we have been chanting it because that is the order here, that is the tradition. One after another, we do that. Immediately after the 11:30 to 12:15, Ramnam is over. There is a set procedure there. Reading of prayer and followed by Prabhu Vishwanatha in Marathi, universal prayer in Marathi, and then Arati. There are some such Arati. Whether we know the meaning or not, we all repeat it. We have some broad idea, hazy idea that we are offering to Father. And then the Pradakshina. Then various slogas from Samartha Ramdas, Manache Shlok. And then finally we all go there. Ananta Gandha Sachidananda Purna Brahma Purushotama Papa Ai Ki Jai. So with that we close and come out. So when Puja Mataji fixed all these things, now we remember why. Every day we are reminding. Okay, whatever had happened till yesterday, forget about it. Today at least we know. Sloka. This is what our rishis taught us. Now you say, this is my country, call it patriotism. While we have the privilege of calling the whole universe as our own, we are calling parts of the earth as my country and your country. This is a narrow vision, whereas the infinite expansion of heart is what our rishis expect us. All Shanti mantras are for the entire creation. Anyatha sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama tasmat karunya bhavena raksha raksha maheshwara maheshwari loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Sarvesham sustir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschiti dukha. Everywhere, all our Shanti mantras. Whenever we go to after the puja, whoever is doing puja, finally, after the arati is over, these Shanti mantras are repeated. Because ultimately we are affirming to ourselves, the puja is offered to the Almighty Lord of the universe to bless the entire creation with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Such a broad idea, has this Indian tradition, Bharat tradition. So right from childhood we are taught all these things. So we have been expected to widen our love circle and embrace the whole world later. That is the ideal. We can keep it as an ideal. Every day we are telling, what am I doing? Kshemam sarva prajanam prabhavadu balavan dharmiko bhumipala. Kale kale cha suvrishtim vyatayo yantu nasham. Durbhiksham choramari kshanamati jagatam atmapur jivaloke. Jainendram dharmachakram prabhavadu saptam sarva saukhya pradhashi. Beautiful Jain prayer. Kshemam sarva prajanam. For sarva prajanam. For everybody, welfare should be there. Prabhavadu balavan dharmiko bhumipala. The ruler should be righteous minded. Kale kale cha suvrishtim. Whenever it is needed, please bless us with rains. Vyatayo yantunasham. Everybody should be free from disease. Durbhiksham, famine. Shanamavi jagavam atmapu jivaloke jainendram dharmachakram prabhu. So everywhere when we keep on chanting, we find, we are connecting ourselves with the entire creation. Kale varshadu parjanyaha prithvi sastishalini deshoyam shovarahita sajjano santunarvaya. Everywhere it is broad. Not only to me, not only to my country, not only to my kith and kin. It embraces the whole, all our Shanti mantras. So repeating the Shanti mantras, it will one day make us realize, when I am repeating this, what am I doing? Am I becoming sincere to it? The moment the me and mine comes, it is totally against this. I may not be able to correct 100%, but 0.5% I can correct, 1% I can correct, 2% I can correct. Ranganathanji, when he was explaining about yoga, samatvam, yoga karma kaushalam, or samatvam yoga muchade. Yoga karma kaushalam, samatvam yoga muchade. When he was explaining about it, he was said, we cannot be 100% yogi, but we can be 5% yogi, 10% yogi. In some activities, in some thoughts, in some actions we can bring in. That is how we can progress. So the me and mine also can be reduced. Probably, we don't know. We have to try. Not at a stretch. It will not go. Puja Swami used to say, when somebody, don't react immediately. It's a practical clue. That will happen only when the me and mine is not dominant. Otherwise, normally, you say something, immediately I retort. I cannot tolerate anybody casting aspersion on me. Because I am noble and good, I cannot accept anything less than that. So Swamiji, when Swamiji was asked, when somebody says something which is not palatable, what do I do? Don't react immediately. And if at all you have to react, you may have to react. Chant 10 times Ram Nam and then speak. Because the chanting of Ram Nam will enable us to think about all this. God is testing me through him. Okay, you react. But the what do you call this? Prejudice will not be there. Biased review will not be there. He was motivated to say so. We are motivated to react, that's all. So these are some of the ways, when we keep on going deeper into it, such doubts come and we get clear-cut guidance from Mahatma. Then we try. Hearing it will not help. We have to try. So then, this is a narrow vision, whereas the infinite expansion of the heart is what our rishis expected. In the Gita, the whole universe is shown as the manifestation of God. Vishwarupa Darshan. God pervades the entire universe and beyond to infinity. Why do you bind yourself to one place and the whole cosmos is yours? So your relations with everybody should be one of spiritual kinship. Many of you might know or might not know. When Papa dropped the body in 1963, in the September issue of the Vision, Mataji wrote this. None of us should fall into the feeling that this ashram is mine. Rest of the ashrams are others, What did she write, Omnipresent Papa's ashram is the whole universe. To know that, he has set up this ashram. Universality, It doesn't mean that we don't identify with the ashram. We while keeping our rooms clean, we will not neglect our rooms while talking about all these things. First, we have to clean our room, our surroundings. That is the ambient that is going to give us our broader vision. So that when you go to the next room or next building, if you see anything, dirty there, instead of finding fault with it, you have done it in your home, no? You have cleaned it, you will clean it. So similarly, we will not say all ashrams are ours. Yes, Ananda Ashram teaches us to know that everything is God's ashram. So even if somebody, makes any comment, good or bad, we should know as students of Papa's philosophy. Oh, he wants us. God has got his own design through that particular ashram. He is functioning it. God has got his own design through this ashram. He is functioning it. The why and thereof will not come so that we don't compare. Mataji was very particular about it. Because none of us should develop any cult attitude. I am better than you attitude, that will not be there. Omnipresent Papa's ashram is the whole universe. To know that, he has set up this ashram. That is why at the time of inauguration he said this, universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. Never in terms of me and mine. even at the level of the institution. Now we find, as we keep on thinking, that is why ashram does not ask anything from anybody. It is not because of any philosophy. It is because of the truth that God is running it, na? So He knows how to run. Provided we surrender to Him. So omnipresent Papa's ashram is the whole universe. To know that, he has set up this ashram. The whole universe is shown as the manifestation of God. Why do you bind yourself to one place when the whole cosmos is yours? So your relation with everybody should be one of spiritual kinship. That is God vision. Behold God as the entire universe. Your beloved is everywhere manifest. What a grand conception of God as the universal manifestation. This you will find in the Gita and Upanishad. That is why God sent Ramdas outside India to various countries and afterwards made him write the book World is God. Some people took exception to this title. Ramdas thought it was the most appropriate one. He actually saw God revealed in everyone he met. He loved everybody, he was loved by everybody in return. In that love he lost himself. He went abroad only to seek his beloved everywhere. He did not go with any sense of superiority to impart the ancient wisdom to the people. His object was to behold God there at close quarters. He found that the people there were none other than the expressions of God. One question was put to him in Los Angeles. Have you realized God and have you seen Him? Ramdas replied, yes, what is He like? Asked the questioner. Ramdas said, like yourself. All the forms that he sees are the revelations of manifestation of God. God apart from man is no God for him. All the worlds are pervaded by him. There is no place where he is not. All forms are his form. Once Ramdas was introduced to the audience in America, I have brought God with me. Ramdas said, God has come to see God. If you really become God, you see God everywhere. When Swami Ramtirtha asked, who are you? He said, I am God, so are you. God alone can see God. So when a man says that he has seen God, that means he sees everything as God. Yapashyati, tapashyati. This is God vision, God realization. This is Divya Drishti. If the ego in your heart peeps through the windows of your eyes, you see all as different from yourself. When God sees through your eyes, He sees Himself everywhere, just as one sees oneself reflected in the mirror. Oh, Papa has put the whole thing in a capsule in a beautiful way. Now I am opening who is seeing. If the ego in your heart peeps through the windows of your eyes, you see all as different from yourself. I think we have to close the book and go now. When God sees through your eyes, He sees Himself everywhere, just as one sees oneself reflected in the mirror. Today, you have brought it beautifully, eye and mind. Wow. So, colorization. No? When I react to events and individuals, whether I view it from my level or from the universal level. Somebody makes a comment, somebody does something, somebody does not obey you. Somebody doesn't recognize. Then all these things we say, why? Because we see him as other. Otherwise this will not come. Because at home we are seeing our mother when we were children, our father, when they behave, at times they may be short-tempered, they may be finding fault, even they may be punishing us. But have we ever taken it as a punishment or a chastisement or insult? No. A broader vision comes. Outwardly they are all there, but we don't take it. We will only say today he is not in a mood, so we go later. That's all. Mother is now not in a good mood. That means, giving space to everybody. They taught us to give space to everybody. I think that would be better. That word would be more, I and mine very difficult, but I will give space. So let us start giving space to everybody in our heart. Even if somebody does something, pause for a moment. It might be for my correction. Maybe. Puja Swamiji used to tell about Atmanandaji's reaction to mill owners when he goes there for correction. Because ego is not there. He doesn't find fault with the mill owners for coming again and again with some party or another. He also appreciates. But he also goes. He said, what you say is right, but these people are asking me to accompany you, they are also right. He says that complete effacement of the ego should be there. Because with one party, when he is a respectable person, Gandhian, apart from being a sannyasi, a well-known person in that area. He was in the Congress movement also. And everybody knows he is 100%, 150% selfless. So, whenever somebody takes him for any public activities, they will know it has been blessed by Atmananda. So, whenever some projects come, on those days, in Trichur, mill owners, spinning mills, there were so many. So, he used to be taken. So, they told him on his face, we have told you the other day, don't bring X, Y and Z for this collection. So, he will say, Swami used to say in his own way, whatever you have said is also right. You told me I should not come. But I was sitting, when I was at home, these people came and said that I should accompany them to you. They are also right. So your rejection or your acceptance, it has nothing to do with me. Then people will give. Because he was not seeing through the egos. He was seeing the play of God there. Through the mill owners, he is telling. Through these people, they are telling. It's all right. They are also right. They are also right. So it is not taken as an insult. Again he will go. It really touched our heart because it is the highest stage. However much we try, we will start justifying. I have not come here for my own purpose. If you feel like giving, you give. And being an elderly person, they may keep quiet. But never. He appreciates their stand. So this, everyone can note down, please. If the ego in your heart peers through the windows of your eyes, you see all as different than yourself. When God sees through your eyes, He sees Himself everywhere, just as one sees oneself reflected in the mirror. The illumined soul sees himself everywhere.
Slowly you
Huh? Oh, I have to say slowly. Okay, okay. If the ego in your heart, are you writing? Peeps through the windows of your eyes, you see all as different from yourself. When God sees through your eyes, He sees Himself everywhere, just as one sees oneself reflected in the mirror. The illumined soul sees himself everywhere. All these things we can keep it as an ideal to be scaled, agreed. Tomorrow we may not be able, today we may not be able to implement. Because this fellow has already occupied the eyes, occupied the ears, occupied the nose, occupied the tongue, occupied the touch, skin. So very difficult. But still now, let us try. The word is, the statement has come from a realized soul, whose life itself is a testimony. Whether it is possible, yes, it is possible. He says, when God, if the ego in your heart peeps through the windows of your eyes, you see all as different from yourself. When God sees through your eyes. So when I chant Ram Nam, this is my prayer. Please enable me to see with your eyes. Please enable me to see your creation with your eyes, not with my tiny little eyes, self-eyes. So we can add this prayer also when we chant Ram Nam. So that when we come out of the Ram Nam session, whether the sense of otherness has gone to some extent, then we can be happy. We are given space. We have given space to everybody, not only the one whom we like. That we will always give, But giving space to the one even if he doesn't like us. That can come only when we bring in the God dimension. In quest of God, we finally said, the test. Every now and then he puts us on test. And if we don't pass the test, that means we are not imbibed. Chidanji Maharaj says, daily life and daily sadhana. Daily life is the field where daily sadhana is being tested. If daily life is not given, we may load our intellect with so many ideas, that's all. But when we come to the practical level, that is why God has given us. An insulting person will be there. A person who does not recognize you will be there. A person who belittles you, who condemns you, who has got grumbling and complaints about you. How do you react? Bhagavad Gita, he keeps on telling about this, the second chapter. Chita Prajnasya Kahasha. Who is a man of steady wisdom? How does he talk? How does he move? How does he sit? This is how Arjuna asks. And 18 slokas, he portrays the word picture of a Chita Prajna. Nice to hear. 100% nice to hear. We can learn it by heart. Gandhiji was giving a lot of importance for these slokas. Because what he thought was, by hearing it, we will get a samskara to live up to it. Sukheshu anudvigramana, Sukheshu vikapaspraha, Vidaraga bhayakrodha. When we keep on hearing this, So everything he will bring it out in the open, and then how do I react? How do I accept? So that is how Papa taught us today. 16th January, we will take it up tomorrow. So today, what all came, you have forgotten? I and mine, that has been there.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
day before yesterday's talk, day before yesterday's talk,
Pardon? I couldn't hear.
in day before yesterday's talk, you said something about universal I, universal I,
Cosmic I and individual I.
Yeah. That you can explain.
Can you explain that?
Actually, we can only bring the word I, because that is the only word through which we can understand. When the individual I, that means whenever I react to anything, am I reacting it from the individual level? That means my personal assumptions, my likes, dislikes, my preferences, my priorities, my colorization, or whether I am viewing it from a higher level. That is called cosmic I. Just now we said, when somebody behaves something, if we look at it, you are right. You have conscientiously, rightfully done something. And I come and say that what you have done is wrong. Immediately you get flared up because, according to you, you have done the right thing. So from the individual level, you are 100% right. But when we raise ourselves, when we move spiritually to higher levels, we will immediately think there should be a purpose why he is questioning. Then you will immediately change your language and say, according to me, I thought this is the one. That means you are giving provision for correction. Some days before we shared, whenever we take up any project or anything like that, construction, somebody will make some comment, some alteration, so many modifications. So one day we asked Swamiji will patiently hear. Swamiji, if everybody keeps on giving their suggestion, how can we move about? Immediately, spontaneously he said, what harm is there in hearing? If there is room for correction, he will correct. Otherwise, he will carry on with it. It may be probably to check up for yourself whether this is right or something else to be added. That's positive thing, Because we feel we have understood everything, we have worked out everything, we have planned everything, we have applied our mind so much, we know that we have got experience. All these things make us to feel, I am right, I am more right than you, And immediately we react. So, cosmic I means we are raised to a higher level. From that level, we will not find fault individually. Though we may be reacting at the individual level, though we may be reacting as an individual, it is not from the individual level. The reaction comes from the cosmic level, accommodating everything. That is why they become calm, serene, unaffected, unruffled. Because this process is going on in them. That is why Pujya Swamiji said, don't react immediately. Because some time is necessary for the process to take place, It is a tough job, tall talk. But as sadhakas, we are to scale the height. As votaries of Ramnam, we are to scale that height. Before we learn the cycling, after the cycling, the balance is got, then you have no problem. So similarly, Ramnam is the attempt we are making to have this God vision, sense of, God dimension at all times, seeing through God. So Ramnam is exclusively for that. Remembering God, remembering God, remembering God. So we can say now that Ramnam should enable us to move from the individual level to the cosmic level. From the individual base to the universal level. In universe, everything is accommodated, From the rooftops, from the mountain tops, from the aircraft, when we see everything is beautiful. When we come down to the lower level, it is difficult to accept. That itself, we all know this. Suppose this is a dirty city, this is a dirty street. When you see from there, you will say, no, it's not like that. So many streets, it might be there, nothing wrong with it, you have to clean it, that's all. Everything will be positive. Cosmic level, you can say, instead of making a research about that word, you will research before passing out any comments. That research, that going deep within will free you from all prejudices, from all biased notions, conditioned thinking. So we have to pray now. When we do the Ramnam, we have to pray now. Give me that. I am doing it, but at the same time, all my assumption about the world and me is intact, never changes. I am trying, but no, it comes before me. Before I start reacting, the me and mine comes. Actually, I know. Intellectually, I am convinced that I must raise myself from the individual level to the higher level, the universal level, to the cosmic level. But today, the entire teaching, of us is centered on this only. This is very, very important for a sadhaka, for a devotee, for an aspirant. At least we know, which are the areas where we have to improve. Our mind may say, you are accommodating this, that, this, but still something is there, which you don't accommodate. So let us all pray deeply, you have given us so many points for us to come out of the shell of me and mine, my own prison. That I must see everything through the eyes of God, not through the eyes of my ego. You remember Swami Chinmayanandaji's words. When you see the world through the goggles of limitation, the world seems to be finite. When you see the world through the goggles of limitation, the world seems to be finite. And another, the sense of otherness sets limit to the illimitable. Sense of otherness sets limit to the illimitable. Illimitable is Bhagavan. But the otherness, I am separate, you are separate, that is you are setting the limit to the illimitable. Whereas he is there in everybody, you are not there. The sense of otherness sets will come in God experience. The same word will come. The sense of otherness sets limit to the illimitable. As Papa has asked us to learn a few shlokas, we also should learn a few words of Mahatma. They are our guideposts. Whenever we cross the Lakshman Rekha, it will remind us, hey, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you talking? We may ignore, but again it will remind. Because to learn, like this, it gets stamped on you. It has got its own positive impact. So apart from shlokas also, we can also, that just like this, seeing through the eyes of the ego, seeing through the eyes of God. It's simple. So I will know whether I have seen it through my own. I know very well. No? It will put a check on my reaction. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Hari Om, Hari Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram